Vestigial snake legs prove God, the Bible, and disprove evolution. Coming up next.
God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion.
In the 1970s, a serpentine fossil was found just outside of Jerusalem. The only difference between this one is it had legs, and when snakes don't have legs. I'm sure all of y'all know that. Anyways, so they figured, oh, this must be like a new lizard or a new adaptation of a lizard or whatever. But in the 1990s, more research was done on it, and they found that the bone structures was much more like a snake, and so it is very likely that this was a snake, not a lizard. So then the evolutionists came up with their views on why snakes have legs, because snakes, for the most part, and there might be a few exceptions, they have these two nubs um, on their belly, on the very back, um, and what people believe that were legs. So um, this is the gist of what Discovery.com says. It literally says the gist. Link in the description. Snakes lost their legs by growing them more slowly or for a shorter period of time until the legs eventually disappeared. Legs on snakes likely dis- dis- Legs on snakes likely disturbed some form of movement, such as burrowing, rendering the legs useless. It is now believed that snakes either evolved from a lizard that burrowed on land or swam in the ocean. So that is what the evolutionist view is, that they went out to ocean, they didn't need them, or the legs became useless, um, or they disturbed their movement so that they didn't need the legs anymore, so they just slowly lost them. However, in the Bible, it actually clearly states this at the very beginning of the Bible in chapter 3. Now, let me give you a little backstory before this. Okay, God created the world, and He created Adam and Eve, everything, and He gave them the whole entire Garden of Eden. Told them you can have the Garden of Eden, do whatever you want in it. Just you cannot eat from the tree of good of not. I get this wrong every time. The tree of knowledge of good and evil. That's the only thing you can do. You cannot do. The rest of it is fine. Um, However, when Eve was walking by, a serpent deceived her into eating of the tree, and then she got Adam to eat from the tree too. Because they sinned against God, did what he, since they did what He didn't want them to do, He sent them out of the Garden of Eden. And as for the snake, in John, in Genesis chapter 3, in Genesis chapter 3, verse 14, it says, "And the Lord God said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life." So, here in Genesis 3, God tells the serpent that it now has to go upon its belly for the rest of its life. Okay, so first off, why, if snakes had legs, or if the snakes didn't have legs, if they didn't start off with legs, why would God have to tell it to it can no longer have legs? So just there in the Bible, it says, what there, okay, in the Bible it obviously says, gives reason to believe that snakes had legs beforehand, and then God got rid of their legs because they um, deceived Adam and Eve. So there we go. That's the creationist view of why snakes had legs at one point, or what makes us believe that snakes might have had legs before, because God cursed them to go on their belly for the rest of their lives. Um, and not only that, this fossil was found in the 1970s. However, um, in 1607, the King James Version Bible was finished and published. And that is actually the Bible that I'm reading from right here. It's the King James Version Bible. So, how can people 400 years ago, if the King James Version people wrote the Bible or wrote this version of the Bible 400 years ago, did they know that snakes did they know that snakes had what seemed like legs? Did they examine snakes and say, hey, this snake had little nubs? They must have legs at some point. Let's say God took them away from them. That's why that's all that's left. Okay, I can't reason enough, can't logically think enough on why somebody, if this was made up, why somebody would have put that in the Bible when they made it to hoax Christianity and just to make a new religion. That doesn't make any sense to say snakes had legs or to give this reason for snakes to have legs or to take them away. It doesn't. This is just one verse in the Bible that says that snakes didn't have legs. There's tons of verses. Why did that one have to be in there? That didn't have to be in there if you were just making this up. So there you go. That's why Genesis 3:14 and the reason why snakes no longer have legs proves Bible, because that doesn't make any sense for it to be in there. Yet it was in there 400 years ago, 400 years before a fossil was found that, oh, snakes had, this snake looking figure has legs. And also, um, on creationtoday.org, they say that the spurs, or what, the nubs, they also help in reproduction. So, I'm sure you're thinking, well, if God created everything, God's all knowing, why did he give legs in the first place? Well, God has a plan for everything. And while sometimes we can't figure any of that out, maybe when snakes lost their legs, he thought, well, this can still help in their reproduction. He created the purpose, because I'm sure if they had legs, they'd be easily be able to reproduce just like any other animal can. But when they're like little circles and everything just slithering around, if you think about it, that wouldn't be very easy. So when they have spurs, this still allows them to reproduce. So that's why they still have the nubs. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked this video. I'm sure you'll comment in the leave some comments. Please tell me how I did, what I missed, or any questions that you have. I'm trying to shoot this down, and I'll try to answer them the best of my ability. Also, go to creationtoday.org. They answer these kind of questions all the time. They even have another website browser, sort of. It's called searchcreation.org. I'll leave that in the description. It answers. It's like a Google for creation questions. So if you have one, and if I don't get to your question, you can search it there, um, and they should be able to find an answer for you. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked the video, and subscribe so you can get more of these, and so maybe you can watch them and connect with more of them and help prove why you believe, or so you can watch more of them so then you can try to shoot me down more so then I can try to answer those. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. See y'all later.